Alrighty. Test 1, 2. Let's nudge that music down a little bit. There it is. Alright guys, hello and welcome to the TW HonorCup. What the heck is this? Well, it is a tournament on the Taiwan-Korean server that's taking place every Thursday night or Friday morning or Friday afternoon, depending on where you live. And it's live. We're all live on the Korean server right now. You can see the in-game lobby. This isn't a fabrication that I made up with Gosu Photoshop skills. No, it's not. This is completely live. We are in the game lobby with Leenock and Slam. And, of course, PrOmise, my co-caster here. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man.
Fantastic.
Leenock to kick off the this tournament. It's going to be fun.
And I do want to mention, I did tweet about this tournament, so please retweet or do something there to help get people in here. I also made a Reddit thread, so if you could please go to reddit.com/r/StarCraft and then go to new. You can find the link there that is referring to this tournament because some awesome games are going to happen here, and I want people to see them, right? It's like you don't these things don't happen and then you just keep them to yourselves. No, we want to share. We want to share the greatness that is StarCraft 2 with the world, and to do that we need your help. So if you could please go up with that, it's really an easy thing to do, and it will help a lot.
And the thing about these matches, man, there is a lot of Korean players and Taiwanese players that play on the server that are completely unknown, but they're still so good.
Yep.
And this is sort of their moment to shine, to show that I can compete with MC, I can compete with Marine King, I can compete with Dong Rigu, which are players we hear about a lot in the foreign scene. So this is going to be one of these tournaments where players are going to start winning against better players, hopefully. But the first match, Leenock against GamaniaSlam. That's going to be pretty epic, man. Gamania, I believe, also the team Sen is on.
I think you're right.
Yeah, so, you know, this guy is probably no slouch himself.
Dude, this is like, it's a super cool tournament, and it's like one of a kind almost, where, you know, most of the times you have the Koreans, you know, logging in on insane hours, playing under insane latency against foreigners in like the Playhem dailies and stuff like that. And this is essentially the same thing, except it's on the Korean server. So I don't know any other tournaments that do that, and it's awesome to be able to cast this event. And of course, the quality of games are going to be through the roof. These are all like Korean grandmaster players. And it should be fantastic. And these
are not replays.
No.
These are live games.
Oh yeah.
I mean, no matter who's up early or late and where everyone is, these games are being played right now.
Yep.
And yeah, man, I just can't wait to get the game started. Leenock, oh my god, I'm so excited.
Yeah. Oh, are they waiting for me? Oh yeah. Yes. Go. I didn't realize they were waiting for me. How long was that up there? Why didn't you say anything, man? You should have been like, dude, tell them to start the game.
Man, I'm minimized. Sorry.
You StarCraft 2 minimized?
Alright, it's on StarCraft, yeah.
How are you supposed to cast?
Okay, I can always like go back and forth between my windows.
You know what I've always wanted to try is like
what?
Not be able to see the game, just hear my co-caster, yet still be able to cast it. Do you think that's possible?
No, that's really hard.
I think it would have a lot to do with what your co-commentator, because they kind of have to help you through it.
Like how comfortable you feel with that person?
Not necessarily. They just have to be really descriptive as to what's going on, so you can like kind of follow it up. Like if you say something like, "Oh, and it looks like the armies are about to engage at a choke," and then you're like, "Oh, when they engage at the choke, the Protoss army is engaging with the Zerg army," or something like that.
Do you have your music super loud in the back?
Do I?
Like, yeah.
Are people complaining?
Is it louder? Is it pretty loud?
Why are you asking? Are people complaining?
No, I mean like you're wearing headphones, right?
I am.
So my question is the music super loud, or is it just barely so you can hear it? Because sometimes a lot of casters have their music really loud. They get more like intensified, and they feel more in the game. And
it does, like the music.
That's kind of how I have it,
that's
man.
why
it's pretty damn loud.
That's why I always play it before tournaments start. Whenever I'm casting, I always turn on the StarCraft 2 music. Actually, that's because the licensing, there's no issues there. But no, it is some of the most intense music in the game, and I absolutely use that to help fuel my commentary at points. It's definitely a great addition. It synergizes things. I like it a lot. But we do have Leenock, the Red Zerg player, in the top left-hand location, as you know, might be a favorite here in this game. He's a ferocious Zerg player, very aggressive style. He's been playing a ZVZ against his opponent in the bottom right of Antigua Shipyard. The Blue Zerg player, Slam, from Team Gamania, of course, we're theorizing that he knows Sen pretty well. I'm not sure how good he is, but if you're on the same team as Sen, you got to be pretty darn good, at least I think.
Yeah, and to take that a step further, man, Leenock is not only the favorite to win this match, he's probably the favorite to win the entire tournament.
Yep.
Wouldn't be surprised if that happens, because his caliber of play is extremely phenomenal. He's extremely impressive in all three matchups, ZVT, ZVZ, and ZVP. But we have a ZVZ in store for us, man, and Gamania, I don't even know how to say the team name. I think it's like Gamania?
Gamania? I don't know.
It's super hard. Gamania. Okay,
Gamania.
Slam.
Yep. Slam, I can say. I can say that, I think.
Slam's pretty simple.
That's pretty simple.
But I don't know too much about him. But ZVZ can go either way.
Mm-hmm.
It
is a best of one, too. That's important to know.
That's a good point.
So you lose here, you're out. You win here, you move on. Of course, a very like a lot of people can join this tournament, so that kind of has to happen. And you know, it has its ups and downs, I think. But both these players opening up with similar builds. Getting the early pull and gas, not going for the 15 hatch, and I'm not too surprised to see this considering Leenock's style is of course very aggressive. That being said though, takes all of his drones off gas, which implies that he's only using that gas for speed, and that's what he's doing here, which implies that he's not going to be necessarily crazy aggressive with a lot of banelings early on in this game. However, that can all change really quick. We'll have to keep an eye on those drones to see if he returns guys back into gas, but might just take his expansion or something and then put the guys back in gas. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, man, and GamaniaSlam is actually doing a very similar build. It looks like he also took guys off gas, getting started with his metabolic boost. I think it was a little bit quicker here for Leenock. And these seconds matter, man, when you're trying to get Zergling speed here on the map as quickly as possible. But the variance here is actually no. There is no variance at all.
Leenock actually has 6 slings on the field, and Slam has like 4 more drones. So
yeah.
That's the one difference here. And you could be like, all right, when speed finishing in relation to these two players, there's not really going to be too much of an edge for Leenock, so it's not like he has a gaping window to do a lot of damage with these Zerglings approaching his opponent's base. And Slam should be just fine dealing with this. Has the Queen on the ramp, has 2 lings there as well. So Slam eking out a little bit more drones than his opponent at the early part of the game. But now starts that super meta game of ZVZ where you're like, all right, I want to make enough units where I can defend against any aggression from my opponent, while at the same time getting enough drones so I don't fall behind economically, and then trying to identify what your opponent is doing so that you can appropriately react to what they're doing so you don't fall behind. ZVZ is such a complex matchup.
Yeah, and Slam is actually going to go for a quicker baneling nest, significantly quicker here than Leenock. Both players' expansions are down at the same time. Looks like Leenock going to try to move up into the ramp here of Slam, and Slam doesn't really have any units in his main right now. He's going to lose a Spine Crawler. He did not cancel that Spine Crawler. That is actually
Don't lose the Queen. Oh my gosh,
he lost the Queen. And Leenock is actually, I don't know, man. Slam is sort of in trouble.
God, what were Slam's lings doing? My mind is a little bit...
They were at the third. I have no idea
what were they doing over there, man?
They were just hanging out, man. They don't want to attack. They want to survive, but...
Dude, you can't do that. I mean, he lost his spine for free. Not only is it a spine, it's a drone. And then he lost his queen? What? Mm-hmm. No, that can't happen. And Leenock has to be feeling super happy. Big smile on his face right now. And making 2 banelings back home. Droning up a little too. Slam droning up as well. And already Leenock has a pretty comfortable lead here. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's actually a huge deal that happening early on in this game.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And if you look at the production tab, yeah, Slam is droning up. He lost his Spine Crawler, which is so huge early on in this match. He does have a few banelings as well in the natural. And Ling's going to try and make their way into the natural here. Leenock going to be able to take out a few of the drones here from Slam. And this is just not going good at all for him. He's down in Harvesters. And the thing is, man, Leenock behind is just going to make additional banelings, getting a Spine Crawler in his natural as well for extra defense. Yeah. Going to grab a second gas. And what does the second gas mean?
The second gas from Leenock, or actually he's taking a third gas. He's taking a third gas too. So I think this implies that he's ready to transition. He feels comfortable in this game, as he should. He has taken a nice lead, and he's adding on a Roach Warranty. So he's ready to transition out of the early Ling baneling stuff, and it looks like Slam is too. He's adding on plenty of drones, has his first gas, and we have to see, like, okay, there's his second gas. It comes down to identifying what your opponent is doing. If you think your opponent is transitioning, you can start feeling safe to transition, and he probably had an idea considering he saw that gas at the natural expansion of his opponent. So both these players are going to be transitioning, and the question we now ask ourselves is, who's ahead and going into this transition? And it's going to be Leenock here, 41 to 34 supply, getting that Roach Warren up a little bit earlier, starting his +1 upgrade already for the missile attack. So Leenock setting himself up very nicely for this game.
Yeah, you're 100% complete. Leenock did the damage in the natural, in the main, taking out so many of these drones, and behind it, he's actually gonna get a Roach one. But the thing that Slam has that's really going for him is he is getting a fairly quick layer. So is he gonna go for that Muta in the ZVZ matchup, which we've been seeing quite a lot? But man, there's just back and forth action. Looks like Leenock just making additional Lings and Banelings, gonna even morph them right under the Overlord of Slam. Slam sees all of this making its way right now. And man, Leenock gonna move across right now. He's gonna go into the mineral line, taking out some more of the Banelings of Slam. 73 supply to 46 of his opponent, and Leenock has a huge supply lead right now, and that is just a lot of Banelings. And Slam, man, just doesn't have the right units to attack into this.
Yeah, this is a really good timing from Leenock, catching Slam as he's trying to tech up and killing so many drones, the natural expansion, and of course, you called it, man, Slam putting down that Spire, but whenever you put down a Spire as a Zerg player in any matchup, you're going to be a little bit vulnerable, and Leenock taking advantage of that, going up to 76 supply to his opponent's 38, Slam down to 27 Harvesters. The Spire is halfway done, and the art about all of this for Leenock, okay, a lot of people are like, oh, he's just doing some aggression, okay, he's getting some damage done. Wow, that was a nice Link explosion. He's also a scout. Like, that's a lot of good scouting information. He sees no roaches on the field from his opponent. He sees double gas at his opponent's natural expansion. He sees that fast layer. He absolutely knows his opponent is going Spire right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's really vulnerable when you go for this very quick Muta play, is if your opponent is going to open up Baneling, transition very quickly into Roaches, and he knows it's over. Leenock just, overall had the better army, and Slam calls GG. So Leenock is going to win this best of one. He is going to advance to the next round. Unfortunately, GamaniaSlam is going to be eliminated from the Taiwanese Korean Honor Cup, and I think we're going to continue casting Leenock, which is going to be a lot of